Hello everyone and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Vorse. Every now and then we come across some of the stupidest claims you can imagine, and they would be totally laughable and dismissible if it weren't for the fact that they gain traction because of scholars and experts who bandy them about and write books and articles, pushing them in highly visible media outlets. One such occasion is a recent posting, actually a series of postings and articles on the intellectually challenged website The Huffington Post, nicknamed HuffPo among its legions of devoted liberal non-thinkers. A recent series of articles has been published claiming that various saints of the Catholic Church were or are queer. That's their word. The first of the articles is called Joan of Arc and 9 Other Queer Saints. The point of the series is, according to the article, quote, a way to celebrate and honor those who did not live straight lives and to discover role models and trailblazers who may have been obscured, forgotten, or stripped of their queerness, end quote. Are you flipping kidding me? Seriously, as absolutely dumb as this sounds, it has a world of sound scholarship behind it, according to the radically feminine homosexual activist movement, who, of course, have a dog in this fight, likely a Chihuahua. The article goes on to quote the work of Susan Stryker and Stephen Whittle, who have published their propaganda, findings, in a work entitled The Transgender Studies Reader. And here's a shock. Susan Stryker is a lesbian, and Whittle is actually a woman who underwent surgery to change her outward appearance, sexual appearance, to that of a man, also mistakenly referred to as being transgendered. Mistaken because there is no such thing, but hey, we digress. So these two put together a publication and quote other people who agree with them and their findings, and they spread all of this because of the lesbian Stryker carries with her the cachet of having been a postdoctoral fellow at Stanford University. Ooh. So after that setup, what's their reasoning that Joan of Arc was out and proud and lesbian? Hold on now. Wait for it. Wait for it. Because she wore men's clothes and was burned at the stake for refusing to put on women's clothes. Yep, that's their claim. A young teenage maiden who led French forces into the fog of war on horseback at the prompting of divine voices and saved France was burned at the stake for being a queer, their word, not ours, a queer, lesbian, transvestite. Is there no end to what hate-filled, spittle-producing homosexuals will say to slam the Catholic Church? Not to mention, is there no end to the absolutely ridiculous, stupid comments they will make to support their desire to be seen as normal for wanting to have sex with each other? Heads up, gay nation, it ain't normal, never was, never will be. And stop trying to co-opt Catholicism into your hellish agenda. Please, Joan of Arc was a lesbian because she wore men's clothes. She wore men's battle gear because she was in battle. She was in battle because she heard divine voices that told her to go into battle. What do you think a 19-year-old girl should wear on horseback as she was wielding a sword on a battlefield? Gucci? The clothing became an issue because it was attached to the issue of her battle, and the issue of her being in battle became an issue because it went to the issue of her claiming to hear voices that she said were divine, for which she was burned at the stake for heresy. Now, in order to enlighten these vociferous, spite-filled homosexuals bent on saying anyone famous in history was gay, so it makes them look normal, we say, look at the final transcripts of her trial, her judgment, and her execution that we have conveniently provided right here on this page, on this link. Allow me to quote one line, one very pertinent line from the transcript itself as she is being tied to the stake. Quote, "We declare thee of right excommunicate and heretic. And after your errors have been destroyed in a public preaching, we declare that you must be abandoned and that we do abandon thee to the secular authority as a member of Satan, separate from the church, infected with the leprosy of heresy, in order that you may not corrupt also the other members of Christ." End quote. That is not a statement executing her for her deplorable taste in fashion, but for her heresy in claiming to hear voices. But this is standard fare for the homosexual movement. Make their twisted and perverse understanding of sexual morality seem normal by making up stuff about historical figures or combing through pages of history books looking for anything that might even remotely be twisted into proof that Leonardo da Vinci or Joan of Arc or whoever was gay. And the overall point they completely miss is this: even if, and they weren't, but even if these historical figures were attracted to the same sex, that doesn't mean they were having sexual relations with them or thought it was good and holy if they did. If they are in heaven, and in the case of Saint Joan of Arc, she is, it isn't because she was a transvestite or lesbian or whatever, but in spite of it. One would think that there probably are citizens of the heavenly kingdom who, while on earth, had to overcome same-sex attraction. But they are in heaven precisely because they did overcome it, not because they celebrated it, marched in parades, and performed lewd acts in public, and tossed condoms off floats, or in the case of Joan of Arc, refused to give up her Wranglers and cowboy boots. Stop defaming our saints in your calls to make evil good and what is good evil. Saint Joan of Arc, pray for us. God love you. I'm Michael Voris. $8 million.
How about getting real this Christmas? Do you know where you're going? A RealCatholicTV.com subscription is the perfect gift. It's also your home for hundreds of hours of programming as a premium member. And we have dozens of programs on DVD that make great Christmas gifts for your family, friends, and yourself. So this Christmas, come home to the Catholic Church and make RealCatholicTV.com your homepage. Merry Christmas from Real Catholic TV.